Read these 5 books in 2023 and they will change your mind and your life and the way you approach the year. Let's get into them. The first is called The Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. So this book focuses mainly on 2 things, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So she says that both mindsets are choices people make, and these choices affect our everyday lives. And so people with a fixed mindset usually think that our talents, our predetermined abilities, our capabilities, and all those things are fixed and actually cannot be changed. And people with growth mindset do not think the same. They think these things can be cultivated, can be learned, can be changed. And so it doesn't mean if you are born with certain abilities, you cannot change or improve upon it. The people who have fixed mindsets are usually people who avoid new challenges, they avoid criticism, they usually give up when they fail, and they do not even want to try anything new again. However, people with the growth mindset are very tenacious. They are people who welcome criticism, and they take it and find a way to make it into something positive. They are people who are always looking at how can we make it better, how can we change this, how can we change the outcome of this. It doesn't mean that if you identify or if you realize you are somebody with a fixed mindset, you cannot change to have a growth mindset. And so it's just reading this book to be able to open your mind to know that maybe if I face failure, this is what I'm supposed to do. In the midst of success, this is what I'm supposed to do. If I'm criticized based on this, this is how I should approach it and not to approach it. It's such a very eye-opening book and a mind-opening book. Actually, you should read it in 2023. Our second book is The Defining Decade: Why Your 20s Matters and How to Make the Most Out of It. This book was shared to me by a friend, and wow, I read it. It's not a bulky book, but it took me a lot of days to be able to complete it because I had to always stop and sit down and just take it all in, ponder on what has been said, and it was just such a mind-blowing book. The author nailed everything on the struggles of people in their 20s and the kind of challenges we face daily. She structured the book into 3 major parts: work, love, our brains and our bodies, and the struggles of how we find work, how to even choose our careers, our work environment, struggles of love, whom to choose to love, whom to decide to marry, cohabiting, just so many issues people in their 20s suffer, and our bodies, our brain, how we accept criticism, how we look at our, it's just such a mind-blowing book. And especially if you are in your 20s, you should definitely read this book. It will change the way you think and the way you approach your 20s. And she says that if you're able to manage your 20s well, between age 20 to age 30, then the rest of your year you'll be able to manage it well. You should definitely read it, especially if you are in your 20s. Our third book is called The Third Door by Alex Banayan, an 18-year-old first-year university student who decided to track down the lives of the most successful people in the world to ask them how they actually became successful and how they got what they had. Let's backtrack a little. He was supposed to be a doctor according to his parents. He went for pre-med and realized that thing is not for him. So one day, instead of studying, he decided to read the biography of Bill Gates, and he realized that there was actually nothing that showed how Bill Gates got what he got, and he started drifting to Warren Buffett, to so many other people who are successful and rich, and he wanted to know how they got what they got, but he realized that he didn't find anything that shows how they got it or the process in which they were able to achieve what they had achieved. So he decided to write a book about it by pursuing and following each of them to interview them, and he made it into a book he called The Third Door. And then he indicated in the book that how to be successful, and he likened it to, let's say you are going for an event. Mostly there's a door which everyone passes through, so there's a queue and each of you pass through that door for them to inspect you and you enter. There's another door for VIP where they are able to easily enter that door. And then there is a third door. And what most people don't usually realize is that people don't even know a third door exists. But that third door might be a cracked window passing through a kitchen to the event center, or just finding a way to actually find a way to enter through that event center. And so he says that to be successful, you have to be resourceful, you have to follow your guts, you have to go beyond what normal people go to be able to be successful. I first read this book in 2018 and it has been my favorite since, and I really liked it and I learned a lot from it. Such an interesting book, and so you should read it this year. If you're enjoying this video so far, then don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to smash the like button for more content and more videos like this. And also I'm trying to grow my channel, so your subscription will be appreciated much. Let's get into the video. Our fourth book is called Ask It, the question that will revolutionize how you make decisions, by Andy Stanley. You see, decision making is an everyday thing. As a person, you make decisions in your lives daily, whether we even like it or not. You decide to wake up in the morning, you decide to eat, you decide to cross the road at a particular time, you decide to look this way or that, you decide to wear a clothes. So how do we make the right decisions? How do we make confident decisions? How do we make decisions that will not regret it in the future? Then this book is for you. Mostly I read books based on the mood I'm in, so I read this book at a time where I needed to make certain decisions and I didn't know how to do it. Generally, mostly I am indecisive and I second guess myself and I just struggle with making a particular decision. So when I saw this book that says Ask It, the question that will revolutionize how you make decisions, I was like, yes, this is the book for me. I started reading, and do you know that this book is written based on just one question? And I was like, so why don't you just present the question in the beginning of the book so that I'll be able to know the question and maybe to help me be able to make decisions? But I kept reading, and at the end of the day he mentions the question, and I realized that I had to read the book to that point to be able to understand how that question works and to be able to know even when to ask that question. And so because I wanted to read the book, I wouldn't mention the question yet to you. It's not such a bulky book. You should definitely read it. It will help you to make the right decisions in 2023, and so I recommend it to you. Our fifth book is called Outliers, the Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell. I first read this book in 2020. The book examines the factors that contribute to high levels of success, and he says that there's nothing like self-made or a self-made man, and that it's a myth. And so there's nothing like somebody who said I was self-made and all that. He says that people become successful due to certain factors like rare opportunities, lucky events, and external factors that they have no control over. He talks about how the month you are born matters and how it influences opportunities you get. He says that when you are born within the first half of the year, you are likely to get more opportunities than people who are born within the last half of the year. And he related it with sports and the NHL, that's the National Hockey League, mostly in Canada, one of the biggest leagues in Canada. And he studied their selection process, and he realized that most of the players are actually born in January, and this is the case. So mostly someone who is born in January and someone who is born in December, by the time they are all supposed to go to enroll into the program, someone who is born in January it's about a year older than somebody who was born in December. And so when they are supposed to run, the one born in January can run faster, is more grown, is more mature than the other. And so even the months you are born in matters, and it influences the kind of opportunities you get. Another thing he talks about, where we come from. He says where we come from matters, and so that's why we usually hear that Asians are good at maths, because where we come from matters. Most Asian children grow up speaking languages that focuses on them counting and making additions and subtraction and things that are related to calculations and those things. And so naturally Asians are good at maths because of the environments they are in and where they are coming from or where they were born. And so where you come from matters. And so Malcolm Gladwell says that who we are cannot be separated from where we come from. And so where we come from matters, where we are born matters. It presents us with the opportunities and all those things. So our environment matters. And mostly it's not just about talents. Beyond talents, so many other factors results to why people succeed. He talks about how opportunities matters more than an individual's IQ, and he uses Bill Gates and other people as an example. He says that yes, Bill Gates is smart and Bill Gates worked hard to achieve what he got, but we shouldn't always forget that Bill Gates also got lucky, and so certain opportunities were presented to him. He attended a private school, went to the only school with a computer, and he had even a free time to be able to practice programming, and he was able to develop a lot of things out of it, and he became who he is today. So beyond your IQ, there are certain opportunities that will make you successful than just having your IQ. It's such an interesting book which will really open your mind, and your view of the world will actually change. So I recommend this book, Outliers, to you. You know, I cannot do life-changing book recommendations without adding these two books to you, right? Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Well, I mean, you just have to accept me like that, but these books are really life-changing. And so to be able to change your 2023, to be able to be better in 2023, you should definitely read this book. This is on habits, this is on personal finance, and I won't talk much about them because I've spoken a lot about them in my video. And so I'll link other videos here for you to enjoy as well and to learn about these books. Anyways, I hope you actually read these books, and I wish you a very best 2023, all the best in your 2023. I hope you win in 2023. Let me know other books you are recommending for me to read in 2023. And yeah, I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.